Hello, my name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22, and we're back in Malia, opening in a screen we haven't seen in maybe ever before. Is the youth intake for this year, which just happened a couple of days ago. I managed to still be within my search time radius, and usually they're not interesting enough to show off. A bunch of non-talented players. This year, we've got some talent. The good talents are fine. The top talents, they could be legitimately become players. And then we have Quadri Ekong, who is 1.5 star current ability and full 4-5 star potential ability. Yes, please. Even more bonus fun. He is dual nationality, Spanish-Nigerian, but he is Nigerian. So, the rule is we can take any of these youth players who are good enough in our save. If they've come through our youth academy, that's deemed to be kind of long enough on the African continent in my book. But it's doubly bonusly fun that we have a player who is actually looks good, has the potential to be a first team player, a legitimate first team player, and actually meets our African nationality quota. So this is Quadri Ekong. As you can see, his technicals and mentals are actually really solid for his age. He's just 15, plays right back. 16 bravery, 13 anticipation, 13 teamwork, 15 work rate. Heck yeah. Good at long throws, not that particularly matters to me, but 10 marking, 11 tackling, 8 passing. You'd love to see the crossing get better. It's just 6, same with dribbling, but, give it time. Pace is only a 9, stamina is only a 10. You definitely like to see those come up, but those are often the first stats that increase. So at 15, we could see a legitimate 3-4 point increase in those, which would be spot on what we're looking for. And he's actually 6'3", so he has 14 jumping reach. And worst case, that kind of means even if his offensive skills didn't develop at all, we could possibly just pivot him to play center back. He has a fail condition of being still a legitimate La Liga type player. He's got fairly professional personality. It's absolutely not the best, but it's very solid, level-headed, sure. So we're going to be very happy to leave him on the youth team. He'll turn 16 in May. So for all of his age 16 year and all of his age 17 year, so this year, the last couple months, and then 2 more years for sure. And then we'll see where we're at. But hopefully our coaches have turned him into a top-notch player. So the other news is the next-gen top 50 regens, or not regens, but top 50 youth players, youth being anyone under the age of 19, popped up a bit before that. We had 3 players on the list this year. Let's see. The Algerian player that we just bought in this winter window and loaned out to racing was low on the list, Nordine Ajali. He was somewhere in the 40s. And then in the 30s on the list was Aristide Kone, our winger, 18-year-old Côte d'Ivoire. Lots of up arrows. He's been training really well with us. And then the number 1 player on the next-gen best youth players list, Theo Jim. So you'll love to see that. There were 3 other players of African ancestry in the next-gen list. So we had half of the potentials that we could have. So that was fun to see as well. We might have a very solid base of some young talent, which is nice to see. So let's take it over to the competition screen, and we have clinched Europa League play. And frankly, given Barcelona has they've only clinched Europa League as well. But we are both. I am 18 points ahead of Atletico right now with 7 to play. So to fall out of Champions League football next year would be remarkable. It would take some real work. We would have to utterly collapse, and Atletico would have to go on a real tear. 18 points. Sheesh. So they would need to go over the last 38 games, so 7 games. They need to win at least 6 of them. They are one of the teams that beat us, yes. They would need to win at least 6, and we could take no more than 3 points in the last 7 weeks. So, strikes me as unlikely. And we are racing with Barcelona to actually win La Liga. Unfortunately, it's Barcelona, so anytime you do anything silly like a draw, you're going to lose points to them. So our last game was this 3-win win over Ghent. We went to Real Madrid and had a 0-0 draw. I will take a road draw against Real Madrid every day of the week. On the other hand, a little more frustrating was this 2-2 draw at Getafe. They grabbed a goal in 45+1 after we'd scored in the 42nd. I was like, all right, we'll take the 1-0 lead into the halftime, and they ruined that. They scored the 3rd goal. We scored the 4th goal. Yeah. We beat Malaga 3-0, and we beat Granada 2-1. So we drew Bologna, as we knew, in the Europa Conference League here. We went to their place in the first game, 1-1. Not my favorite result. Obviously, I would have preferred to have a win, to have a lead, but certainly I'm not going to complain about being even coming back home, given the home pitch advantage. It actually seems like we were the only team that didn't win on the road. I believe Valencia beat AZ, Lazio beat Dynamo, and Villa beat Hoffenheim, and I believe all us road teams here would be on the right leg. So we were the lone losers in that regard, that we weren't able to do that, but it's not a super surprise, again, with Valencia and Lazio, given they're facing teams whose leagues aren't loaded. Bit of a surprise for Villa to beat Hoffenheim like that, but again, the overrating of UK teams, not surprising. So we've got that big game here. It wants us to take a look at what we're doing in our center mid situation. So we'll do that here. Daniel's Gabu Youssef. And it wants us to get Jim in there. He's heavy. I'd really rather not stress him out too much. I think Daniels is good enough. We'll bring Jim off the bench if we need to, but I want to try and keep his injury risk down. So yeah, we got a bit more of our veteran side here. Santos, Traore, Callio up top, Sissignon. Ahmed Sami is injured, so Enzo Boyama will start at left back. Riyad and Hamidi at center back. Matsima is out for the year, and Nidakumana is not eligible. And then Daniel's Gaibua Youssef in the middle. There's a question of whether we should be playing Jim at one of the 2 attacking spots, but I think we'll be fine. And we'll likely bring him in anyways. Big rotations from our La Liga games, which have been wins against lesser sides. Just trying to keep everyone fit since we are, playing 2 a week. Heavy rotations key. Mostly good reactions. Shocker, 4-3-3. As you may or may not have noticed, faces have changed. I was trying to get... Ooh, that man's face is horrific. I was trying so hard to get new faces in for my, my new regen Ekong, Quadri Ekong, because I wanted to have my actual human face as opposed to these incredibly plasticky faces that the new gens generally get, and I just could not do it while preserving everyone else's current faces. So if you had someone you would fallen in love with, like Jeffrey Santos, he has my heart, scoring in the first 30 seconds of this contest. Their picture will have changed to another person who doesn't actually exist in reality. Love the little touch from Callio forward, and better for Santos to use his pace to create some separation between him and the center back and slot it past the keeper. Great stuff. Great start. Couldn't ask for more. Real to play over to Hamidi. Does a bit of a drive up himself. Out to Sessignon, up to Callio. Is going to play on the middle here. Daniels gets on the end of it and sweep outside and be a pseudo winger for a moment. Traore slips in and plays it off a defender and out for the corner. Traore will take, left-footed. Can he find one of our center backs? Hamidi does get on the end of it, unfortunately. Making sure he's the first one there. Doesn't really get a good angle on the ball. You know, if I was them, obviously I would be trying to challenge down their right side to our left side, because Enzo Bayamo right there running with their defender is certainly the weak spot of who's playing right now. Saharui taking the in-swinger. Reasonably well defended, and Callio will come away with it. I believe Traore is up top. The formation's kind of still set from when Emmanuel Jage was on the team. Given he was 6'1" and had really good jumping reach and strength, it made sense that he would always go back and play in the box while the wingers, who might be a little smaller, stayed out on the break. But now, with him gone, I think Santos is decent size, so it might not be terrible to still do that, as opposed to have one of the wingers track back. But that's why that happens, and why it might not be truly the best case now. But like I said, I'm going to leave it. Maybe take a look, but it's not pressing. Santos is not short with a tiny jumping reach, like where it would be a legitimate concern that we're sending him back. Botman out to Cornet and plays it up to Saroui. He drives it into the middle. Sessignon still running with him. Would have liked to see, say, Yusuf trying to intercept there. Ball's played past Boyamo. Does a decent job of cutting the angle, though, and they do a lousy job potting into the side netting. Santos is... he's 6'1". He doesn't have great jumping reach, only 11, but yeah, he's fine to track back into the box. 15 minutes gone. I would love to... Yep, they're really attacking Boyamo. Again, that's what I would do. But Boyamo dispossesses there, plays it up to Daniels, plays it out to Traore. Having a bit of a run out, leads it forward to Daniels. Finds Santos. Waiting there. Gayabua making a run. Emmanuel Gayabua, 5th goal of the year for that young man. I mean, he's not so young anymore. I think he's 27, but well done. The second one, always nice to have in your back pocket. Beautiful little give and go. Plays it across the keeper's face. Gets him paralyzed. 1st minute, 21st minute. Could be a trend. I'd love to see it. 41st minute, 61st minute, 81st minute, 5 goals. We do 5 goals. Gabo into Callio. Callio turning, looking, doesn't turn all the way. Plays it out to... Oh, Boyama, what are you doing there, buddy? I'm going to shoot! Right into the defender. That is Yusuf. I hope you don't get red carded. I guess professional foul there from Yusuf. By which I mean kicking out his back leg. He was totally going for the ball. Ball's played up to Callio. Plays it into Gayabua. Saved by Benitez. Knocks it over the top. But it looks like Traore will take it on this side. Let's see. We play the winner of Hoffenheim Villa. It's 0-0 currently. Villa has the 1-goal lead, I believe, from their first game. So Hoffenheim will need to do something to correct that if they would like to rematch us in the Conference League semifinals. Ball's played forward to Santos. It's not the 41st minute. It's the 32nd minute, which is close to the 31st minute, but that's not how the time system works. Traore here. No, can't find our defenders, and Botman heads it away. Botman was their goal scorer in the previous game. They got it on a set piece up to the center back in our box. Headed into the net. Sarui. Likes the Cornet to Svanberg. Across to Orsolini. Again, trying to take advantage of Enzo Boyamo. And we'll get another in-swinger here from Sarui. Good save. Good save. No, wish someone would have gotten out on Saarui there. But in the end, doesn't matter, and he was offsides. Didn't get back into a legal position. And, okay, apparently it's just a Saarui corner kick exhibition. I'm not loving that bit. Bamagita makes the save, though. Probably going to roll it out to Hamidi. No, he's going to play this long. Nope. Okay, roll it to Hamidi. That's generally how I like to distribute. Play it out of the back. Hamidi kind of freelancing, going off on a dribble drive there. Kawia bombs it forward. Does find Santos. Unfortunately, doesn't have an angle on the net, but lays it back to Kawia and on a run. Sessegnon tapped Santos. Oh! Saved by Benitez. Liked the heat from Santos on his shot. Only thing he could do. Traore, in-swinger, 41st minute. 41st minute! Header's unfortunately saved. And we're past our window. Rats. Sessegnon will take it on this side. Botman heads it out, and Sessegnon will get on another attempt. Can he find whoever's lurking on that near post? Hamidi, it looks like. No, not quite. Kawio out to Sessegnon. We have to jump away from the commentary of saying random names that you can see clearly on the screen. We have handed out some new contracts, and we've also had a contract frustration. I believe we handed out a new contract to Hamidi. His value was estimated at something like $48 to $58 million, and the release clause on his contract was at $50 million, and teams had wanted flags on him. So I'm like, there's a very real risk that they come in and offer that $50 million. I don't really want to give him up, or at least if I do, I don't want it to be for under market value. So I'll give him a new contract. And up to that to somewhere in the upper 60s, maybe in low 70s. So again, we will be significantly paid if someone does pull Hamidi away from us. I think we handed out one more new contract. I can't remember who it was to at this moment. Kawio asked for a new contract, and we agreed to offer it to him. And unfortunately, his agent insisted he be listed as an important player and some other clause. I think get a big raise. And he's not. He's a good player. Oof. Bunch of traffic, luckily cleared by Sessegnon. But he's not that good, and we have Aristride Kone lurking right behind him. Santos, our striker, our top striker, does also play right wing, right inside forward, and we could play Serge Kone up top as a starting duo as well. So it's, we've got options. We aren't bedded to Kawio. Bedded and wedded. Ball's played up to Kawio. I certainly want to retain him. I think he's got just a year on his contract after this one, so we will have to work something out, but I felt like he was asking for too much, and he was certainly upset that I did not just acquiesce to his demands. Which there's a case to be made I should have, just to keep morale super high, and we are still like 19th in La Liga in spending. We will listen to our assistant manager who tells us Sessegnon is a yellow card away from a suspension in the Conference League, and so get Ananu in. And then from there, it's just kind of like who's tired, who's not having a great game. Traore's not having a great game, but I'm fine with that. Let's get Jim in for Youssef, who's also on tired legs. That's not Jim's position, so we'll put him in here and move Gaibua back to defensive midfield. And Boyamo can't do anything about that, really. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull Traore for Abby. At that point, we're just kind of picking and choosing. Could have let it go, let more time burn, make sure no injuries happen in the next 5 minutes, but I would have made a change here anyways. Fresh legs. Sandberg up to Brandt. Oh, terrible tackle attempt from Kawio. Like, embarrassing stuff. Good save from Babangida. Looks like he was offsides anyway, so didn't really matter, but you still like to see your players do impressive things even if they don't count. Assuming, they don't hurt themselves in the process. Haysaj up to Brandt. I feel like those are both new players on. Seori had been up at left wing, so that's certainly a replacement. Bega, Sakiri, Ray, Orsolini. I will try and hit the skittering ball across the goal mouth. A little surprised we didn't see Bob McGee come out there. And a bit of a threat there as the ball came across and then it's headed. Nope. Bam, bam. Don't even get a chance to take a look at scores. Riyadh races it up, plays it up to Abby. Abby does find a little window on the edge, but plays it up to Bayamo. Daniels, Santos, passing exchange. There we go. Square it up, and Kawio heads it home. 13th goal of the year for Ibrahima Kawio. Kawio has also been dealing with some injury issues, so that's maybe another reason I'm a bit concerned about extending him a big, long, juicy contract. But, this one's looking pretty good. And certainly Kawio seems to have a good repertoire with Santos, and you'd hate to turn that down with both of them assisting each other's goals so far. System referee has read a flag. Okay, pause. Villa is up 1-0 after a goal in the 80th minute. It looks like we will be facing Aston Villa. Lazio is up 2-0 on Dynamo after a Dynamo red. And AZ is the only one still holding in. If they can grab a goal against Valencia, then they would be seeing extra time to try and straighten that out. But their clock is probably ticking down as we speak. Have to imagine if they haven't made all their substitutes, they are getting as many attacking players on the pitch as they can. And Valencia scores a 90+2 and shuts the door there. Excuse me. So it seems like, as we kind of expected, 6 of 8 teams were from the Big 5 leagues, and 4 of those go through. The 2 teams that weren't in the Big 5 leagues and also unloaded leagues do not. Scored 3 goals on 1.85 XG. They scored 0 goals on 1.13 XG. Good job, Babangida, Santos, Kawio. Ratings all of 8. Hamidi, 8.2 as well. Gotta love to see it. And so, that will set us up with another video. I mean, we're going to have another video anyways. At worst case, for the end of year update. Kone should be dropped by Kenya? Who does Kenya have that's better than Serge Kone? He's got 8 goals and 8 starts and 5 appearances. Like, in half of a year. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, I get why he wasn't on the team previously, because he was playing with our youth side for the first half of the year, but... $1.18 million. Love to see that. Game against Villa. Praise Santos. 1 goal, 2 assists. Brilliant day at the office for that young man. And let's look at the schedule going forward. So, this game, a road trip against Villa. Looks like we have the home leg first this time. Here in early May will be our next game. It may be the last video of the year, theoretically, depending how these next 3 La Liga games go. If we lock up the Champions League, then I'm not sure there'll be a year-end recap. Or it just depends. If we have a chance still to win La Liga, we obviously will broadcast a La Liga game near the end of the year. If we either run away with it or fall behind, then we won't. But hopefully we win against Aston Villa, and then we'll be covering the Europa Conference League Championship for our team, and we'll have that going for us. I'll get the winner of Valencia and Lazio. So thank you so much for joining me once again. Love to hear from you. Please don't hesitate to drop a comment in, and I hope you have a very lovely day. Goodbye.